Yo guys, what's up? I'm gonna bring you another bit educational, but I'm gonna try to split it into a few parts. As I stated in the other video, let me adjust the cam just for a moment. Um, well, currently I'm gonna have a bit more time on my shoulders, on my hands, whatever, and I will try to dedicate it a bit to streaming, working on myself, improving, but also making more frequent videos. The reason why I had stopped making videos before is because I was very busy with the team and also like improving on myself, not doing too many other things outside of that to keep distractions to a minimum. But with that being said, I want to make a few more videos again. So today I'm gonna bring you a bit educational on Underlord, which, as I said, it's gonna be we're gonna make it a little different than the last times. Um, I'm gonna try to split it up into a few different parts. So I think Underlord is currently a hero that is not very figured out in the meta. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the spells because I think most of us will know, well, how the hero works, right? And what the spells do. So the Q is your Firestorm. It's kind of the ability that allows you to defend towers, push creep waves, harass heroes in the lane. It deals damage on the wave, but it also has a max HP burn damage, and the burn has a burn duration. The cast range also goes up every time you level the spell. You have Pit of Malice, where people get stuck in it, and then after it's over, like 2 seconds later, they can get pitted again. The more you level the spell, it scales down in cooldown. Mana cost goes up by 20, and the disable interval is always after every 3.6 seconds, and it lasts 1.2. So after you're out, there's 2.4 seconds for you to leave the pit. Otherwise, you can just get pitted again. And then you have the third spell, which is Atrophy Aura. So it reduces the enemy's damage by 25%. Every time a creep or hero dies in this radius, you gain bonus damage. So if we go to these creeps and get them killed, we have 18 damage. If a hero dies, we have 58. And this lasts for 30, 45, 60, 75 seconds. So this is arguably Underlord's strongest laning spell. And I think with Amar, the OG player, I think he's kind of figured out a way where there's a lot of lanes where you can play Underlord and you can actually max the aura, and it's really good for you in the lane because not only do you gain damage, but you reduce the damage of the enemy's carry, and with people buying a lot of stats, this becomes very, very powerful. And then you have the newest spell, which is Fiend's Gate, where everyone thought this is kind of a meme spell, right? When the hero, first was changed. But this spell, as I will show you in one of the replays, is not a joke at all. So it's a spell that, well, you need to cast it 2000. You need to cast it 2000 range away from yourself, and it's basically like a TP. Like you TP from this place to wherever you placed it to. Once you come out, you have a movement speed buff and a damage reduction buff, 10, 20, 30%, and it actually lasts quite long, 5, 6, 7. I do think that people are getting more aware of the spell, but people are still underestimating the strength of this effect, the damage reduction and bonus movement speed. It is very, very useful, and I think insanely underrated. It's like a drum's movement speed level 1. You can purge this effect with like a nullifier or Yules, but it is still very strong. Like, so let's say you have 335 move speed, you go in with Underlord, so you're gonna have like 360, yeah. And later, obviously, the more levels you have, the better this is. And you can combo stuff quite easily. I would say the most common item builds that you have right now in Underlord is like, you do Pit into Firestorm, into Atos. By the time the Atos is over, they get pitted again, and it's quite a lot of damage. Obviously, it deals more actual damage against heroes with higher HP because you do percentage-based damage. Underlord also has pretty good strength gain with 3. Like, his overall gains of stats is pretty good. He's very tanky. His talents are also pretty good, so let me walk you through that real quick. If possible, you skip the level 10 talent until later. If not, I think they're both very good, both Firestorm and the Armor. Like, if you need more tankiness, you can go Armor, otherwise you can skip it. Level 15, I would advise you to take the Firestorm cooldown nearly every time. It goes from 12 to 8. Also, the Shard is very good on this hero. It's like a really, really good shard. It allows you to cast Firestorm on yourself, and it follows you like this. Also, it increases the wave count, and it happens faster. So it's like a shard that really has a ton of effect, like more than just like 1 or 2. So the shard is very strong. Level 20, I think usually the Atrophy Aura attack damage is better. And then 25, they're both really good. I was surprised that Underlord has the left talent, where whatever number you have, your allies benefit from half of it around you. So I don't know why that is there, but that is pretty strong, because you have 75 seconds where, you know, this happens. So like here. But it's only from when they are around you. But still, like, look, if there's some dude, like, some shit happens in a fight, or let's say they walk with you down a lane, right, and you're killing some creep waves, and then suddenly, then you go push, like, this dude has 130 bonus damage. So yeah, both of these talents are very good. In terms of items, I think what you see people do right now, which works a lot, is that they go, like, Bracer, Soul Ring into Treads, because people right-click a lot with the build and the max aura, right? So that happens a lot. And then, kind of from here, it depends what you need to do in the game. I think Atos can be really good on these heroes for the combo, as we've talked about, because like you can Rift on people, and then you like maybe they're out of range for the pit, so you Atos them. When it's over, you pit them and you start hitting them. This guy has a vulnerability on, but you get the point. And you're actually very strong like that. Then after that, the cookie cutter build people are going right now is Atos into BKB, but I think you don't always need this Atos, and it can sometimes, I think, kind of fuck up your game. So I think a build I have done is to go Wraith Pact, because then people really deal like very little damage, and it can kind of be seen as like a hood for you, because if you get to drop it, people deal also less magic damage, right? Which overall means like now these people just deal like no damage. With their Wraith Pact and your aura, it's just so much damage reduction. And then there's like, I've seen other people also go like some Echo Saber type builds, you know, Echo, Sanjin Yasha, BKB, and then an AC. But I think the build that I've seen most commonly right now is kind of this. Into an AC, and then like maybe a Basher afterwards, and you kind of become like this second carry slash backup carry slash anti-carry in a way. So I think this kind of covers the early setup of the hero. I think this is kind of how people want to play it right now. I definitely think there's still games currently where you can go Vanguard into Crimson Guard, Hood into Pipe, or maybe some Blink Dagger builds. You go some overwhelming Blink Dagger later. But what I want to show you guys as well now moving forward is a quick laning stage of Amar, who plays for OG. Obviously, they did win the major. In this game, they played against EG in the group stage. Of course, EG didn't really perform very well at the major, but they're still a great team, and I think this is just gonna go to show you how strong this hero can be, both in the lane, yeah, like both in the lane, but also moving forward, like in the mid game. Okay, so sorry, we had some issues there where I couldn't skip ahead in the game. But so, we're gonna look at Amar's laning stage and maybe the early mid game where he uses the portal. And then we're gonna call that kind of as part 1, and then we will continue afterwards with a second part where we go more for like the mid game, the late game, what you wanna do there, what specific items do you want in those games. So there's also a tutorial video. I don't know if we're going to release it before or after this one, where I touch on starting items, and you can definitely see the ones that I talked about in that video. You can see them here. You have a lot of stats on the Underlord, 1 set of regen. You have this Bloodseeker with 0 regen, because the Winter Wyvern will have the regen for him. So then the support of Underlord, being Enigma, Taiga, has a couple more tangles for him. So he goes Aura level 1. He's just going to try to, you know, contest a few of the CS. He did take quite a lot of harass here, but, you know, that's going to be life sometimes. Tries to get that CS. Arteezy plays it pretty well. They take a lot more damage. Double wave into Amar's tower. So for now, it's kind of just CSing. And level 1 Aura is not that strong. Minus 5% damage from the Bloodseeker is not all that much. But himself already, he has plus 12 bonus damage. Like, that's a Blades of Attack plus a Gauntlet. So, or like 4 gauntlets in terms of damage, so that's pretty good. So he's gonna rush a Bracer to upgrade his stuff, get himself some more damage and some more HP regen. And I think double Bracer is like very normal. If we look at the CS right now, 7-4, 9-3. So for now, like this is pretty simple. Usually you will go Firestorm, but you don't want to over push the wave. So for now, they're just playing for CS. You know, he's just doing some casual stuff. You don't really combo too much with Pit either. I think there's a few lanes where you can go Firestorm and Pit too, if you are to lane with some Lina. I know I did that back in the day. I don't know how valuable that is right now. But once you get to level 3, it really gets a lot stronger because your damage reduction goes from 5 to 15%, so it goes up times 3. And the damage you get from creeps goes up by double as well, and the duration goes up by 50%. So the second point of this spell is very valuable. As you can see, Arteezy has... Actually, how much damage does he lose? So it goes from here, he has -1, it's now -8. Yeah, he actually loses like 11 damage, right? He goes from +2 to -9, so that's pretty good. So here, same story, he goes Glove of Haste for these treads, gonna get himself some more regen. Just make sure that, you know, he can hit hard. I think the Glove of Haste is a very valuable item on this hero when you skill it like this, because the aura, as I said, gives you so much damage. Like right now, he has +20 and the Bloodseeker has like -10, -11. So that's a 30 auto attack damage difference every time they both make one hit, which is a lot. And now it's even more, 24, 28, 32. Of course, it's going to start running lower and then start running higher, but when you think about it, he hits for 110 damage minute 4 by being a 1k HP hero, which is why here, when they go on the Enigma, you can kind of see him man up. And I think if they played this slightly better on OG, then this could have looked even better for them, as this is a 1-for-1 trade, Arteezy loses all of his HP. But the wave pushes in a lot to Amar, he's gonna come back and he's still gonna be pretty happy. So let's look at his player perspective. You know, now we just get some CSing. He's holding a skill point, 3 levels in the aura, you know, nothing too crazy. Again, he's gonna just man up with his Q and his E, and you can kind of tell that they're like, oh shit, this guy deals a lot of damage. He has more CS than the Bloodseeker, he has higher net worth than the Bloodseeker, he's very happy. Gonna get himself some more tangos to stay high HP in this lane. 37 bonus damage, now they have a double wave. With the bonus damage on Underlord, they get to hit the tower, and now his game is pretty secure already. You know, nothing really too crazy happened, and he is, yeah, he's pretty happy. He's gonna send out his treads. He's going for the 303 build. He's just trying to be very annoying here to this Underlord. Try to not let the guy see us. I mean, he has 55 like bonus damage. He can't really contest it too much in the tier 2. So he's like looking around, but he doesn't really want to TP. We can skip ahead, you know, he's just farming creeps, level 4 aura. He's happy, he gets to farm the jungle, push in the lane, farm the jungle, push in the lane. And at some point, you want to be ready and think about skilling your ult, the Fiend's Gate, because it is actually very strong. So here he held a skill point, he goes for the Pit of Malice with the Malefice off Enigma, and they do actually get a kill. So that's good. Here he TPs to his outpost because they take a fight pretty deep. And now the cool thing you can do with the gate that you have now is that you can use it either to gank, or if you TP somewhere you can go there, then TP back to your lane, or you can like rift to the play, kill the guy, and then go back with the rift. So now he skilled rift, and he sees Arteezy farming here, right, on the ward. So he rifts right on top of him. I think Arteezy is a little slow to react, but here he just gets to pit him. He uses his Q, the shackle, they kill him, and now they can just steal this stuff and just TP back out with the rift. And it's basically like a relocate. You go in, you try to kill the guy, you go on the dude, and then you go back in your pit. And it's just really strong. Here again, I think EG are kind of overplaying their hand. Like this hero, this Underlord is dealing so much damage right now with this Q. Not only does he deal a lot of damage, like he has 160 bonus damage. He hits for 300. This is no joke. Like, and he lowers your attack damage by 35%. Like, when you start stacking up all of these things, and he has 2k HP, like, things start to look very, very strong, especially when this hero has a good lane. Which won't always happen, but it can, as you can see here. If you play it well, if you understand what items to buy, it can look really good. So as we've touched on before, you don't really want to skill the talent level 10 unless you really have to. Like, maybe if the game was harder, if the TA had a Deso right away, like the Armor talent could be good. But here now, he has his Atos, he has high levels in Q, so he's ready to fight. He can either go to a fight right away, as he did now, or he can just wait, go to a side lane, farm it up, and then connect to a fight with the gate. So what I would like to show you guys is how he can man up here against like 5 heroes, because he deals so much damage. And then also, you know, if they have no stuns, it's kind of like a TP, you can rift out. So he rifts out, and then he even just rifts back in, and they go on Nightfall. They don't quite kill him, but it was close. So as you can see, the Rift is kind of like a go somewhere but come back. Like you can skill it in the lane to go to base, heal up and come back. Or you can Rift to mid to gank the guy. Or you can even Rift mid from bottom and have your mid player come to your Rift too. Or maybe the Storm Spirit ganks your lane, you both lose all your resources, then you Rift to base from where you are, and then the Storm gets to have full resources after the gank, and it's really strong. I would like to show you a few more minutes of like the just kind of like it's very very farm intensive gameplay that you can see right now. But again, you skip the talents also for a big reason, because leveling up your other spells is very valuable. And I would like to just keep showing you the perspective of what he does and how he uses the rifts. And then the later portions will cover in part 2. So here again, he's kind of farming, he sees that there's a play, so he will just rift to it, looks for a pit, Firestorm, Atos combo, didn't even need to, so they're dead, and then he's like, okay, whatever, I go back to farming. So the hero is like pretty straightforward and looks very simple, but there's actually a lot of skill in using the hero's ult properly, and also understanding the laning phase, because the hero in the lane he's very susceptible, very volatile, has a lot of counters. So you need to be okay with sometimes being countered, but understanding how to get the most out of it. So here they go on him, but they have Gale Force, so that's pretty chill. He turns around on his Bloodseeker with his 100 bonus damage. He actually hits for 350 right now, and as you can see, they go on him, but they actually can't kill him. He's a 2500 HP hero with 20 stick charges that if they hit him without BKBs and shit, and they have a lot of right-click damage, they deal way less damage. So his effective HP against physical damage is like more than 3000, which at this point, at 18 minutes, is a lot. And this guy now has like an 18-minute BKB Atos, so he's basically the carry. And now, they have a good war bottom, he has Fiend's Gate again, and basically what you can do, you can either look to initiate if people are out of position, or you can tell your team, yo, go on these guys, when you start, I can just rift there. Here, they start on a dude, he rifts. He could have even rifted more aggressively and caught the Bloodseeker, but it's fine. He goes there, makes a play, he's done, he rifts back out, and again, remember, when you rift in, you're even more tanky, because you have a damage reduction buff, you also move faster with the bonus movement speed. So this hero, I think right now, is kind of on the come up. He was building into different items like Howard into AC. But we're gonna break it here because I want to make this into 2 parts so it becomes more accessible and more easy to understand. Now we just get some CSing. He's holding a skill point, 3 levels in the aura, you know, nothing too crazy. Again, he's gonna just man up with his Q and his E, and you can kind of tell that they're like, oh shit, this guy deals a lot of damage. He has more CS than the Bloodseeker, he has higher net worth than the Bloodseeker, he's very happy. Gonna get himself some more tangos to stay high HP in this lane. 37 bonus damage, now they have a double wave. With the bonus damage on Underlord, they get to hit the tower, and now his game is pretty secure already. You know, nothing really too crazy happened, and he is, yeah, he's pretty happy. He's gonna send out his treads. He's going for the 303 build. He's just trying to be very annoying here to this Underlord, try to not let the guy CS. I mean, he has 55 like bonus damage. He can't really contest it too much in the tier 2. So he's like looking around, but he doesn't really want to TP. We can skip ahead, you know, he's just farming creeps, level 4 aura. He's happy, he gets to farm the jungle, push in the lane, farm the jungle, push in the lane. And at some point, you want to be ready and think about skilling your ult, the Fiend's Gate, because it is actually very strong. So here he held a skill point, he goes for the Pit of Malice with the Malefice off Enigma, and they do actually get a kill. So that's good. Here he TPs to his outpost because they take a fight pretty deep. And now the cool thing you can do with the gate that you have now is that you can use it either to gank, or if you TP somewhere you can go there, then TP back to your lane, or you can like rift to the play, kill the guy, and then go back with the rift. So now he skilled rift, and he sees Arteezy farming here, right, on the ward. So he rifts right on top of him. I think Arteezy is a little slow to react, but here he just gets to pit him. He uses his Q, the Shackle, they kill him, and now they can just steal this stuff and just TP back out with the Rift. And it's basically like it's like a relocate. You go in, you try to kill the guy, you go on the dude, and then you go back in your pit. And it's just really strong. Here again, I think EG are kind of overplaying their hand. Like this hero, this Underlord is dealing so much damage right now with this Q. Not only does he deal a lot of damage, like he has 160 bonus damage. He hits for 300. This is no joke. Like, and he lowers your attack damage by 35%. Like when you start stacking up all of these things, and he has 2k HP. I hope that you all enjoyed part 1 of this series. Next time we're going to look at a little bit of what Saberlight does on this hero, and probably also a replay of myself. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this Educational, and we'll see you next time.